guys, this is Alex703 Rockstar, and I am back for another album review. This time it is of the Beastie Boys, Check Your Head. And before I start the review, this review will be the first out of 5 reviews I'm going to do today. It's an album reviewing roulette. I've done one before. I just review random albums, you know, just for your enjoyment, but I do 5 in a row. I may not upload them all at once, but I'm filming them all at once, should get them up in the next 2 days. But anyway, Check Your Head by the Beastie Boys. This was a transitional album for the Beastie Boys, and that being said though, it was one of the most beautiful transitions ever, because they went from their early style on License to Ill and Paul's Boutique, which was just straight up, you know, rap styles. They had simple productions, just laid down the rhymes, and it was awesome and it was cool and they are fun to listen to. But this is different. This goes to a whole nother level because this doesn't have that much rapping on it. Now, if you listen to this song, Pass the Mic, it's probably the song with the most rapping on the album. There are a couple others, maybe 3 or 4. But compared to their earlier albums, there's not nearly as much rapping. They turn more here on this album into sort of a alt-funk, alt-punk even, you could say, I guess. They have some punk songs on this album, and they were starting to get respect by alternative rock fans on this album, and it was because they were able to mesh so many styles together here so beautifully. It's really, really interesting. They had live instrumentation, as you can see on the picture here, on the inside of the booklet, and it was sort of let their music, it gave them an escape tunnel, because the Beastie Boys would have been known as a band where their first 2 albums were awesome and then they got really boring if they had continued doing what they were doing. But because of this, it gave them sort of an escape tunnel, and it made the Beastie Boys evolve into a whole nother beast, and that beast made some badass music. Now, personally, Hello Nasty is my favorite Beastie Boys album, but this comes in at a really, really close number 2. I just find it so interesting. You can chill to some of the songs here, you can get pumped up by some of the songs here, and you can admire some of the musicality on some of the songs here. And that was something I really couldn't say about their earlier albums, where it was just more being entertained by their funny lyrics and whatnot. So anyway, as an introduction to the Beastie Boys, this would be a good album to listen to, but don't expect all their other albums to sound like this, because they really did transform a lot over their career. There's generally some really good production combining hip-hop and rock elements here, but it's pretty, you know, it's pretty sparse production for the most part, actually. But an interesting thing about this album, though, is that they faced a lot of copyright issues when they made it, because this song, Pass the Mic, uses a sample from a 1978 song, and what happened is they paid the rights to the record label for the use of the sample, but at the copyright laws, you actually have to pay the composer of the song for the composition of the notes, and it brings up an interesting question. Should that law really exist? Because the notes that are taken here are 4 notes, and they're simple notes that anyone can play. And it leads me to believe that, is it really necessary to pay the composer of a song for their composition of the notes, because they don't really own those notes? I understand paying the record company for the recording, but to pay someone for using their composition, to me, doesn't seem right. Tell me what you guys think about that, and watch this review. Oh, I guess you will already have watched it if you get to this point, but I'll see you guys later.